So I started doing this challenge from Justin Werlin, I believe is his name. And essentially, it's just like, I think it's called like the Tao Trading Challenge. So basically, you try to stop making money when you're trading and just try to focus on the process itself. And then I've been doing that along with working with my mentor, obviously AHAM ICT. And I gotta tell you, today has been the most painful loss ever. At this point, I've been day trading now for about, 5 years. I would want to say, well, really, probably more like 4, because I started technically in 2020, but I started towards the end of 2020. So it's probably been more like 4 years. But anyways, today I took the most painful loss ever. And don't get me wrong, I've never really blown an account. I think I blew one account, but it wasn't like I actually blew it because I was over leveraging. It was literally simply because the fact that the account was about to expire and it was gonna rebill me. So I just figured, why not swing for the fences, and just didn't win it. But I've never actually blown an account. Like, for example, because some people go on tilt, they just take a bunch of trades in a day and they lose it all in one day. That's never happened ever. But today, oh my God, I took the most painful loss ever. So like I mentioned, I've really been taking the time to just really focus on my trading and make things better so I can really get to the level I want to. So with that being said, I stopped trading prop accounts for about a month now. And I just started trading, paper trading. And everything's been going great. I've been tracking everything inside of TradeZella. And, my win rate now is about, 54%. And my average risk reward is 2 to 1. Like on average. So after all my trades, that's what the average is about. I'm averaging about 2R. And, consistently, I'm always risking 0.5% on every single trade. And I'm not even kidding, dude. I'm doing amazing. Grew the account about, 0.5%. Yeah, I think 0.5% in about 2 weeks, which is really good. And that's just like with very low leverage, just like very low risk, playing things out beautifully. And literally today, we had CPI this morning. And, price is looking beautiful. There's a new day opening gap. That was my clear target. I was trying to target the London highs. And, literally, since I started doing this challenge, I've started becoming a lot more patient, because there's the first trade setup I want to take, but I'm like, nope, can't take. It's not part of my trade setup. But sure enough, it hit my target every single time. One of my favorite models is just to target a 930 fair value gap. And sure enough, it hit the 930 fair value gap. And then from there, it then did its thing. So, but I was looking for the ICT22 model. So what I did was, I was waiting for, I had all the boxes. There's a break of structure, a fair value gap. And then from there, I was looking to enter off a fair value gap. And what I did there was I put my limit order at the fair value gap. And this is where I fucked up. Okay, so price wicked into it. And what's been happening to me so often is it will wick into it, but it won't fill me. So what I did was I just pressed buy a market. And then I didn't realize, but I had a limit order that was still there. I thought that as soon as I entered, it would get rid of my limit order. I didn't even realize. And then after that, it then goes down and ends up tagging me in. And then I'm like, oh, fuck. And then it just dumps. I was on the wrong side of the market. It's okay. I don't care if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm only right 50% of the time. So I expect to be wrong. And then I didn't even have time. And then I'm sitting here looking at the number, and I'm watching it go lower. And I'm like, okay, it's a negative 250. I should probably close the position. I'm like, dude, fuck, man. But I'm like, and then I was like, but dude, I got this. I didn't mean to be over leveraged. It just happened on accident. I should have just closed the full trade and just accepted the loss. But I didn't. I'm like, nah, but I'm like, we got this 15-minute fair value gap here. It's going to hold. And sure enough, it did. But I was in so much pain mentally because I was over leveraged and I felt like an idiot already. And then it was like a negative 670. And I'm like, dude, okay. I'm like, okay. But I'm like, Aaron, it's probably going to go up from here. And I'm like, but then the other part is like, well, Aaron, what if it doesn't? I'm like, dude, if it doesn't, you're literally going to blow the account. So I'm like, you're right. This is like me talking to myself. I'm like, fuck, man. So, sure enough, I closed the position. And then sure enough, like my bias was, it went right back up to where I thought it was. And then at that point, I would move my stop loss to break even, and I would have gotten stopped out at break even. and I would have not even taken a loss. And that's what I want to tell myself. But this is the other thing. Because what would have happened if I didn't close it early? Well, then I would have, instead of taking a $670 loss, I would have taken, probably would have blown the account. Because seriously, like, what is the point? What is the difference? Okay, so you have another candle, then another one, then another one, another one. At what point do you close a position? Well, you can say, well, obviously, the U.S. economy is bullish, so, overall, I can't really lose. Yeah, but let's be real here. That's not even realistic. You're really going to sit in drawdown and just let it go deeper and deeper and deeper in drawdown so eventually you're negative $10,000 in drawdown? Come on now, that's not going to happen. So I'm like, I'm not gonna allow myself to lose $3,000. So I'm like, I'll just take the $700 loss. Dude, that shit hurt so badly, and I didn't give a fuck about losing the trade. What killed me was the fact that just how stupid the mistake I made was. It's like, and also the time. I'm like, dude, for me to get those gains took me 2 weeks, man, and that's real time. It's like, I don't give a shit if I'm paper trading or not. What I care the most about is my time. Because what I've been doing right now is I'm trying to become super mechanical, only trading one model. That way from there, I can really start to scale in prop firms. Because my thing is, what's always been my problem is not having like a consistent model. It's something that I can test over, 20, 30 years so I can get a true edge in the market. This is my thing. I'm not just trying to make $1 today. I'm trying to make $1 in 30 years. Because, trading is a lifelong thing. So, I really took a break from trading as far as when it comes to prop accounts and just really focus on the process itself. Because the thing is, the trading, people always want to get better. And I just took a break completely from prop firm accounts. I'm like, I'll come back to that in a couple months. I'm at the point where I don't need any money right now. So, I can chill out and just focus on the process. And then from there, I'll be able to scale a shit ton. Because my thing is, once I have really bulletproofed this model, then I can start to push my edge more. And that will come with time, and obviously more skill. I'm like, God damn, bro, this shit fucking hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. And it really actually was like a wake-up call for a lot of things. And it's like, you may have a rule where you're like, I'll never risk more than this. And my thing is, even if you make a mistake, you gotta respect that rule. Because my rule is 0.5% loss in a day max. And as soon as I seen it hit 0.5%, I should just close the position, even though it didn't hit my actual stop loss. Because I made a mistake. Who cares if I would have lost 250 when it went back up? At least I would have been down, 250 instead of 700. So it is what it is. Realistically, I know that I can literally all make it back in one trade. All I gotta do is catch one, 3R trade, and that's it. They don't, those usually come about once a week. It's just really fucking annoying, but, what am I going to sit here and do? Just complain? But what I'm going to say, what it did teach me is, damn, bro. Even now, when it first happened, I was so pissed off. I'm not even kidding you. I literally thought, like, dude, I should just quit trading. Because it's funny, because don't get me wrong, even though things are working out, people that don't trade will never understand. People, they'll just never get it. I was like, nah, man, this it's actually moments like this that are what make me better, because you learn through pain. It's unfortunate, but that's just how humans work. So I then decided, I'm like, well, I learned, because this week we've had a shit ton of news. And what I've learned is, I've seen a lot of people blow accounts trading during news events. So I always knew, okay, never trade during news. But what I used to do is I used to trade the day before. And I'm telling you, this week, I've been taking either break evens or losses. I had one win, but that was the day we had no news. I'm not even kidding you. On every single day, don't get me wrong, it's a very small sample size, so obviously this isn't enough to make a decision. I'm just going off based on what I've seen. It seems like based on the small sample size I do have, almost every day there's a news event. For example, something like CPI that happens at 8:30 a.m. in the morning, price is so choppy all day. It's fucking crazy. price is just super choppy. And then even today, even though that the news passed, I was trading after CPI. Price was super choppy. The day before, when I took a break-even trade, I believe we had some other news event. I don't remember what it was. I think it was like PPI, something like that. Price was super choppy. And what I learned is I'm like literally the day before CPI, PPI, FOMC, NFP, I'm not touching at all. And for FOMC and NFP, I'm not trading those days at all. And, that's it. So my thing is, it's kind of funny because I've been learning more and more. In order to become profitable, you actually want to trade less. So I'm not even kidding. When I started winning more, I started trading less. And it's even funny too because it's funny because it shows me how there's such a disconnect between live trading and backtesting. Because when I'm backtesting, my win rate is like 80% trading my model, but in the real market, it's 50%. But the reason why it's 50% in the real market is because there's so many trades I took that were not my model. So that's why I'm really doing this, just to hone it in. Like, I'm proud of myself for sticking to my model, but I just fucked up on the actual risk management part. And it's just so funny too, because it doesn't really matter how good your strategy is. If you have bad risk management, you're fucked. And it's so funny because I always heard from ICT, he said all the time when you have courses on, he would have a video on money management. He would say, this is the most important part of everything on my channel. He says, people don't understand that. Because, the reality is poker players, the reason why poker players make money is because obviously poker is a game of chance. It's luck. It's luck-based. I would say same thing with trading. There's definitely a degree of luck. Obviously, there's a little bit of skill in poker, a little bit of skill in trading, but it is luck. It's probability. But how you can play the odds to your favor is by, knowing money management. Like, you can literally flip a quarter with good risk. If it's heads, go short. If it's long, tails, and you'll literally be able to make money as a trader. Because it's literally just probability and risk management. The reason why people can't do that is because their minds. And even now, I'm like, dude, I'm fucking tilted right now because I lost 2 weeks and I'm paper trading. I can't imagine how pissed I would be if I was on a live account. Because I'm like, dude, to the top step, that's literally me about to get a paycheck, bro. So, luckily, it wasn't a live account, I guess. I'm happy I learned this. Basically, the risk was free. It didn't cost any money to learn this lesson. It just cost time. So I guess that's good because, trust me, I've spent lots of money on profitable accounts. So yeah, it's kind of fucking sucks, but yeah, this is